Welcome to my video. This video is for a Summit 1/16 scale e-revo. I'm going to be replacing the outer drive shaft. In this one it is good, but I will go through the process of getting it pulled apart. I have this off the vehicle. You don't have to do it off the vehicle, but I'll walk you through your steps. First thing you do is pull off your tire. One thing to do, preparation, is have your tools ready. You're going to need a needle nose pliers, the tools that came with it, small bowl to put your parts in, and a small screwdriver, along with the Allen wrench that came with your Summit. So on here, off the vehicle, you can see a little bit easier that I can move it around. These ball links are not screwed all the way in. You want to kind of take note of how far they're screwed in, because what will happen is you pull them out, and when you put them back in, you think, oh, they got to go all the way back in. However, you can strip the stuff in here, and you'll also end up breaking more drive shafts because they're screwed in and the drive shaft gets too tight. Once you have the wheel off, there's two Allen screws on the ball links in there. You pull those out. What I normally do is I'll get it all lined up, and you'll have a steering servo rod that's kind of pulling back and forth. Make sure you get it nice and straight before you pull these out if you're doing it on the vehicle, or you can pull that screw out first so that the red steering rod is not attached. Makes it a little bit easier. It's one more screw that you got to pull out, but makes it a little bit easier. That way you can pull it out. What I do is I'll pull one halfway out, and then I'll pull the other one halfway out. You could probably go all the way out with the second one, but I like to kind of go back and forth on these, so you're not putting too much pressure on anything. It makes it easier to pull them out. So what will happen, excuse my fingers here, you pull these out, the A-arms, and what you'll be left with, guaranteed I'm not a hand model, what you'll end up with is the outer drive shaft, which is probably gone or broken off, or it may be there, just holding on by a thread. And you'll have a little black hub and your two ball links. Make sure that you have the ball link caps in there. If they're not, then you got to get those also. There are some RPM upgrades if you go online. The RPM upgrades are way better than these. They don't have as much play in them. I believe they have them for Summit, but I'm not positive. I'm not sure if the e-revo ones will work for these, but I think they will. So you take your small screwdriver, get under this little hub. Be careful because there's a small pin, and I have a magnetized screwdriver, so it actually pulled that small pin out from the behind this black piece. You pull the black piece off your drive shaft, and then there's a bearing underneath, and there's a bearing behind it. So make sure that those bearings don't come out. There's a bigger bearing on the back side of this, and a smaller one on this side. So what you'll be left over is with your probably broken drive shaft. Get out your new drive shaft. It should have the small pin. I normally take those small pins and put them in a small case. When you're doing that, put all your parts into your bucket here, which I'm not actually doing, which I should be. So you don't lose them. So you take your new drive shaft, stick it through the back, making sure that this bearing doesn't pop out. If it does, you take it and pop it back in. Make sure it's nice and tight. Take your small pin with your needle nose pliers. If you got small hands, you can probably grab onto it, but I don't. Slide that in your outer drive shaft. take your hub retainer type thing. I don't know what that exactly it's called, but line it up. There's a small groove on the back that'll line up with that pin. Get your pin kind of centered, slide it on, and it'll pop on. You want to hold the back of your drive shaft, hear it snap on. Now that you got that far, you can take it and put it back in, slide this piece onto your inner drive shaft. It'll look like this. It'll actually be attached to the vehicle, but it'll only slide in one spot. If you have to force it, you don't have it in the right spot. You have to make sure to turn it and turn it and turn it until it slides in nice and easy. And there's only one way that it'll actually slide in real nice and easy when you're putting it on the vehicle. Now you can do this before you get your A-arms put together, but you'll probably have to do it at the same time you're putting your A-arms in. So get one A-arm started if you want with the ball link, and then you can slide it in. Put your ball links in, screw them in. Like I said, normally do half and half. Put your steering rod back in, put your tire back on, put your nut back on, and away you go. Thanks.